Okay, they don't want you to know this, but there's a show, a gay show, from the early 2000s that's much like Heartstopper in the sense that you could just watch it and watch it and watch it and nothing ever really happens. And it's like heated rivalry in the sense that they're doing butt sex on TV. And it's called Queer. And I love it.
Okay, I knew I was going to do that whole bit where I like clip the name, but then I never actually recorded a take of me saying the name fully. So the show is called Queer as Folk. It's like queer as fuck. It's like a pun.
I've been thinking about this show a lot recently because I'm putting out a song in a couple weeks, hopefully. It's called Source Material. And I wrote it when I was watching this show in summer of 2022. This is not just an ad for the song. I promise this story is important to why the show is so good. I didn't come out to my parents until I was 21 in the summer of 2023. Right. Summer of 2022, I had just come back from college, right, where I was out. I don't think I ever came out to anybody in college. I think I just showed up and started being antique and it was all good, you know? So you gotta imagine, I just was in college for a whole year, unquestionably out. Like it wasn't even like a thing. And then that summer, I had to live with my parents for 2 months. So I had to kind of go back in the closet, which I wasn't very good at being in the closet in the first place. Like it drove me literally almost to like, you know what. And so having to go back, I was like, uh-oh. Queer as Folk was a really great escape for me because, you know, I had Heartstopper. I had seen Heartstopper, but Heartstopper was not, I love Heartstopper. I don't relate to Heartstopper. I do in a sense, but it doesn't provide me that like adult homosexual escapism that I kind of needed at the time. So Queer as Folk really filled that void. Really what I needed more than anything else that summer was to remember that gay people existed and like did things, like they went to the store and went to eat dinner with their friends and hung out with their friends who were also gay and dated people and had gay sex and all that good stuff. Because I was in the middle of nowhere in my parents' house still pretending to be straight, and I just like was immediately cut off from all of that after a year of being surrounded by it. So I was really happy to have found this show and to have that kind of escape. And I think if you are in a similar situation, this show could provide that for you too. But yeah, then as I was watching it, I wrote the song Source Material. I did write it while I was watching the show based on Brian. Because I don't know. Know that I really think Brian is hot. It just was more like I needed a hot man to write a song about, and I was again in this homo desert. But yeah, I love the show. It was really important to me, and it could be important to you too. So why does nobody talk about it? Queer as Folk, the show that ran on Showtime in the early 2000s from December 3rd, 2000 to August 7th, 2005. The show was a really big deal because it was the first time that gay sex had been shown on primetime television in all different kinds of things. Like it was anal sex, it was oral sex, it was da-da-da-da-da, very graphically. Obviously it's not porn, but it's heated rivalry level if you've seen Heated Rivalry, which if you're watching this, I'm assuming you have. The series is a soap opera about a bunch of gays living in Pittsburgh. There's Brian, Michael, Justin, Ted, Emmett, and then also Mel and Lindsay, and also Brian's mom is a main character, and Vic, his uncle. It's very Heartstopper-esque in the sense that nothing ever really happens with any gravity, or when it does, it's pretty rare. I mean, like, I think there's one character death in the whole series. I could be wrong about that. I mean, there's large events that happen, but in the sense that the core group of people, ultimately, it's about them just kind of hanging out and doing things. That doesn't really ever get impacted. They're always in Pittsburgh. That kind of thing.
I feel like I didn't explain this well. Things with gravity do happen, but the core of the show, which is them just like sort of farting around, never changes. There's no like adventure per se.
So it's very Heartstopper-esque to me in the way that it's like this little world where they're dealing with interpersonal conflicts, but it's not, you know, the fantasy world of Heartstopper, which I love, Heartstopper, where, you know, they're 15 and nothing happens. Like these people have sex and they go to the club and they do drugs and all that fun stuff. So it's a little more heated rivalry-ish.
Guy who has only seen 2 TV shows. So it's kind of like Heated Rivalry and kind of like Heartstopper.
In that way, but it's also not in the sense that it's not a coming out story. As far as I know, there's no like straight... No, there is. There is a plot line later in the series where there's like a straight man who can't come out, but it's not like it's not a main plot point. It's not 2 closeted men. It's like Emmett is hooking up with this like straight guy kind of thing. But at large, they're out gay people. These are like homosexuals with jobs and that kind of thing. Beyond that, it explores so many different gay related themes. It talks about AIDS. There's like this series of people who intentionally want to get AIDS. They do drugs. They go to meth parties. Ted gets drugged and has to go to the hospital, almost dies. But it's kind of more nuanced than that, in that the way that the guy who drugged him is not really portrayed as a villain. He's portrayed more as like a troubled drug addict, you know? So obviously what he did was horrible, but the show doesn't LARP on that.
LARP on that? Bro, come on.
Stuff like that. It takes a very nuanced approach to the different things that it talks about. There's lots of fluff too. They go to pride parades, and Michael owns a comic book store, and they hang out at the diner, of course. The two lesbians own a house, and there's like an episode where they try to redo their bathroom and they screw it up. And that's their whole plot for the episode, you know? It's initially based on a British series of the same name, which I have never seen. If that's good, someone let me know. I've never seen it. But the American one is based in Pittsburgh, randomly. Some of the actors in it are publicly out as gay, and some of them are not. It's like a little bit less than 50-50, which for being made in 2000, I feel like is pretty big. I wouldn't have expected any of them to be gay. Even in Heartstopper, they're not all gay, so... Is that true? No, they are actually in Heartstopper. Wait. In Heated Rivalry, though, it doesn't seem like Hudson Williams is gay. I don't know. Also, the show is just like a vibe. There's like, it's so well shot. I love they do these like scenes all throughout the series where like the camera like, whoa, onto the person. I try to recreate a scene like this in my music video for my song Shelf Life. I'll put that scene here. Obviously, poor man's recreation of this, but they do lots of these. I'm sure some other movie did this. I don't think this show invented it, but I think it's cool. I don't watch enough movies to know where it came from. All the like colors and lighting and everything is all very consistent throughout the series. I think especially the first season looks just like really cool. Like it has that like 2000s futuristic kind of thing going on.
Also, I forgot to mention this. You used to be able to watch the show for free on the Internet Archive. Apparently, it's been taken down since I last watched it, which was like 2 months ago. But you can still watch the British version on Tubi or Pluto or one of these like, you know, stupid fake free streaming things that aren't real. And then to watch the US version, it's super easy. So first you Google Queer as Folk where to watch. And then you're going to figure out, okay, wait, it was originally on Showtime. Oops, Showtime doesn't exist anymore. Showtime is now part of Paramount Plus, whatever the fuck that is. So you have to get either Paramount Plus with Showtime, or you can watch it on Hulu with the Paramount Plus with Showtime add-on. Not the Showtime add-on. That's a different thing that doesn't exist anymore. It's really not hard.
The biggest critique of this show that I see online, hear people talk about, Brian and Justin, two main characters in the show, right? The first time they have sex, Justin tells Brian he's 18. Brian is 28. Justin's actually 17. Brian then finds out Justin is 17. And then they continue having sex. And then they're together for a very long time. Was this okay in 2000? No. Does the show portray it as being not okay? No. The show kind of laughs it off. It becomes like a running joke, like, haha, like the kid you're seeing, you know? Ew, right? In 2026, we can say ew. I would hope in 2003 they were also saying ew. I don't know, I wasn't there. So I understand why people maybe watch the pilot and go, and call it a day. Like, that's totally fair. It's gross. I wish the show did more to address the fact that this is not okay. I'm 23. I'm not even 28. If one of my friends started dating a 17-year-old, I can't even imagine. So is this why people never talk about the show? Maybe. I don't know. I don't think so. To be completely honest. I think it's maybe one of the reasons, but I don't think it's the reason. The reason... I think it could be because season 4 is really, really bad. Like, unbelievably bad. Both times I've watched this show all the way through, I've gotten to season 4... And the first time I stopped watching entirely because it was so awful. And the second time, my boyfriend and I took like a 2-month break from watching the show because it was so bad. And then we finally were like, let's try it again. Something about season 4, everyone gets so fucking irritating. I don't know why. And then season 5 is really good. So if you can like thug it out through that, I would. Maybe that's why people don't talk about it. I don't know. So, you know.
I meant this as in it's like Lost or like Game of Thrones where people like watch and then it gets so bad that they get sick of it and then don't end up recommending it to their friends. I don't know if this is the sole reason nobody watches it. I just think it's probably part of it, right?
Age gap thing's weird. Season 4 is really, really bad. That to me doesn't seem like enough for nobody to ever talk about it, though. Do you know what I'm saying? If you want to write off the whole show and not watch it because of that, I'm not going to sit here and tell you not to. There's so much other stuff in the show that I think makes it worth watching that to me it's like, okay, is this really weird? Yeah. And people say that's why they don't watch the show. I don't know if that's true. I think people just don't know about it because I never hear anybody talk about it.
This is anecdotal, obviously, but I don't think I've ever seen an ad for the show, like in context where they're advertising old TV shows. And like, I hear about the L Word. Why do I never hear about Queer as Folk? I don't
understand why no one talks about this show because Gen Z is obsessed with the 2000s. Why have we not made it to Queer as Folk yet, you know? No one want to be gay anymore. I really think it just boils down to, like, I never hear about this show, so no one talks about it. Like, I don't see any marketing for it. I really only knew about it because I saw someone mention it in, like, a Reddit post or something, like, forever ago. I've never seen TikToks about it. It's not very TikTokable. Like, I think the main cast are all very attractive, but they're all, like, men. They're not, like, men. You know what I mean? So they don't hold up in the TikTok generation, I suppose. It's not very, like, cutesy editable. Maybe that's it. I don't know.
And it's not because straight women don't like it either, because it does actually say on the very limited Wikipedia page for this show that the creators were surprised by the audience being predominantly straight women. So first of all, straight women have always supported queer media, or better or worse, obligatory, but they have. But so that's not it. So I don't know. Run a damn ad for it or something. Where is the Queer as Folk payola?
Overall, I think Queer as Folk is a really important show, and I think it's worth watching as a gay person, especially in, 2026, the whole Gen Z doesn't go out and drink thing. These people drink every goddamn day. I'm not saying you should do that. I'm just saying it's a look into what was the stereotypical gay lifestyle in 2001. I don't know. I don't live like that, to be honest. I'm in here. I am in here most of the time, but somebody's at the club all the time. And apparently in the 2000s, it was everybody, because drinks were like $5 or whatever. If you're looking for a good piece of queer escapism, I would really recommend this show. Even if you just think it seems like a vibe, I think you should watch this show. I think go in with the mindset of knowing that, the show has so much merit that for it to be defined by the flaws of that, I don't know. I'm sorry. See, I still feel like I'm struggling to articulate this, but
let it not be lost in the problematic aspects. The show is so good. It's so funny. It's such a vibe. You can just watch it. You get really invested in it. There's lots of different characters, so there's all these different B plots, but it's all kind of interconnected because they're one big friend group. They date people, they break up with people, they all do different things. They I don't know. There's the main character, Michael's kind of geeky. He owns a comic book shop. Brian's super hot.
Either way, I think it's a great show. I think you should watch it. And it was very inspiring to me, and it was helpful to me that summer when I really needed it. And I wrote some great music out of it. So, yeah. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Antique. Yeah, bye.